Hey guys, what's going on? It's MassiveJoes RAW review, and I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Awesome! Raw review for the viewers at home today on one of the most highly anticipated reformulations, updated formulations of one of the most popular pre-workout supplements in the history of pre-workout supplements from our good friends at MTS Nutrition. It is, of course, Clash Fully Loaded in the house. Let's get straight into it, show you guys exactly what's in it, tell you exactly what it's going to do. That nutritional information panel ain't gonna get it done. We're about to go balls deep in this here MTS Nutrition Clash Fully Loaded. Fortunately, got ourselves a big ass nutritional information panel for the viewers at home. Dilip, go ahead and cut that panel up so the viewers can play along at home. Starting from the top, serving size 1 scoop, 22 grams. We're dealing with a protein or a pre-workout in this motherfucker. 22 grams in a 1 scoop serve. Got yourself about 20 of them 1 scoop, 22 gram bitches. In one of these MTS Clash Fully Loaded bitches. In terms of what the 22 grams is made up of, we can do a quick summation or addition, add up all of the active ingredients and quickly discover there's 18.758 grams of active ingredients spread across 12 active ingredients, which means we're dealing with 85% active ingredients and just 15% artificial flavors, sweeteners. There's no artificial colors in Clash either. It's naturally colored, so just 15% artificial flavors, artificial sweeteners, and natural colors. That is almost unheard of in the pre-workout category. To go 85% active ingredients is really taking it to the next level. In terms of the ingredients, that's what we need to get to. We're about to go balls deep. Starting from the top, L-citrulline in a 6 gram or 6,000 milligram dose. Viewers at home, for those of you who are unaware, L-citrulline, of course, is a precursor to arginine. Arginine is obviously a precursor to nitric oxide. So it's going to boost your nitric oxide levels, and boosting nitric oxide levels is going to increase nutrient delivery to working muscles. That's the main reason for boosting nitric oxide. And then the kind of nice side effects is you get improved muscle pumps. If you're lean enough to get vascular, you get improved vascularity as well. The clinical dose of L-citrulline is 3,000 to 4,000 milligrams. We have 6,000 milligrams of L-citrulline in each and every scoop of this MTS Clash Fully Loaded. It's overdosed in L-citrulline, which is good to see because you can never get too many muscle pumps. Moving right along, we then move into Creapure creatine monohydrate, the patented, standardized Creapure creatine monohydrate in a 5,000 milligram dose. Creatine monohydrate, of course, is a precursor to adenosine triphosphate, aka ATP. And ATP is the fuel source for the phosphate energy system, which is the energy system our muscles use when we lift weights, baby. Put it in short, more ATP equals more fuel for working muscles, so you're going to get an increase in muscle power, and it's going to allow you to train harder for longer and stimulate more muscle growth. Everybody knows the clinical dose of creatine monohydrate is 5 grams, 5,000 milligrams, and we have 5 entire grams of Creapure creatine monohydrate in each and every scoop of this MTS Clash Fully Loaded, so it is clinically dosed. Moving right along, sticking with the theme of muscle power, we then move into, no, hold on, I got my betas mixed up. We're going straight to carnosine beta-alanine, the best beta-alanine we have seen thus far, the registered patented version carnosine beta-alanine in a 3.2 gram dose. Beta-alanine increases the concentration of carnosine in working muscles, and that helps buffer the buildup of fatigue toxins such as lactic acid and hydrogen ions, which is going to allow you to train harder for longer and effectively improve muscular endurance. The clinical dose for beta-alanine is 3.2 grams. We have 3.2 grams of carnosine beta-alanine, the best beta-alanine we've seen thus far in each and every scoop of this MTS Clash Fully Loaded, so it's clinically dosed. Moving right along, now we can get to the other beta. Betaine anhydrous in a 2 gram dose, 2,000 milligrams. Betaine anhydrous, aka trimethylglycine, boosts muscle protein synthesis and is a methyl donor. So how it actually works, viewers at home, is it transfers a methyl group to homocysteine, resulting in methionine. And then methionine is what in effect boosts protein synthesis. But the other cool thing that it does is it actually boosts creatine synthesis. So your body is able to get more creatine. So we have already a full clinical dose, 5,000 milligrams of creatine monohydrate in each and every scoop of Clash fully loaded. And then we have betaine anhydrous, which is allowing us to synthesize more creatine. It's the 1-2 punch. So effectively what we're talking about here, viewers at home, is more muscle power. The clinical dose of betaine anhydrous, 1.5 to 2 grams. We have 2 grams in each and every scoop of Clash fully loaded, so once again, it's clinically dosed. Moving right along, we then get into another nitric oxide boosting ingredient through a different pathway. We're talking about agmatine sulfate. In a 1.5 gram dose. Agmatine sulfate boosts nitric oxide by inhibiting the nitric oxide synthase enzymes that break down excess nitric oxide. So we've got a 1-2 punch with muscle power, creatine and betaine. We also now have a 1-2 punch with nitric oxide production. We have L-citrulline, precursor to arginine, boosts nitric oxide levels. We then have agmatine sulfate, allowing our body to have more nitric oxide, or I should probably say, stopping our body from breaking down that excess nitric oxide. That's a better way to put it. So we have a 1-2 punch with helping boost nitric oxide levels as well, which of course is going to help better nutrient delivery, better muscle pumps, better vascularity. The clinical dose of agmatine sulfate to inhibit the nitric oxide synthase enzymes is 750 to 1,500 milligrams. We have 1,500 milligrams, so once again it is clinically dosed. Moving right along, N-acetyl L-tyrosine, aka NALT, in a 500 milligram dose. This is of course L-tyrosine with an acetyl group attached, and that acetyl group has the effect of increasing bioavailability for better absorption of the tyrosine into the bloodstream. Tyrosine is a nootropic amino acid. It's a precursor to L-dopa, which is in its own right a precursor to the neurotransmitters dopamine, noradrenaline, and adrenaline. N-acetyl L-tyrosine is going to help improve cognition in the presence of stress, but also help improve cognition in the presence of sleep deprivation. So really what we're talking about here, viewers at home, is an ingredient that's going to help with mental focus, particularly when you're stressed, tired, or sleep deprived. The clinical dose for N-acetyl L-tyrosine is between 300 milligrams to 500 milligrams. We have, of course, 500 milligrams. Are you seeing the trend here towards the upper end of all these clinically dosed ingredients? We have 500 milligrams of N-acetyl L-tyrosine. It is, of course, clinically dosed. Now, we can get into the fully loaded stimulant blend, viewers at home. Starting with caffeine anhydrous, 250 milligrams. Caffeine anhydrous, of course, a CNS, central nervous system stimulant, enhances physical energy, reduces fatigue, boosts psychological performance. A clinical dose of caffeine, or should we say the most efficacious dose, is between 200 to 300 milligrams. We have 250 milligrams, smack bang in the middle. The caffeine is once again perfectly dosed. Moving right along, we then get into one of my favorite stimulants at the moment, theacrine, and we're talking about T-crine being used in this Clash fully loaded, the registered patented version of theacrine, a 100 milligram dose, a disgusting dose of theacrine. Theacrine, or teacrine in this case, is also a central nervous system stimulant, so it's going to do everything that caffeine does. The benefit of using teacrine as opposed to caffeine is you don't crash on teacrine, and you also don't build up a tolerance to teacrine. So it doesn't have it doesn't affect your stimulant receptors. You don't start taking 50 milligrams and then have to take 75 and then 100 and then 200 and then 300 to get the same effect. You don't build up a tolerance to teacrine, which is really cool. Other benefits of teacrine is it actually upregulates your dopamine receptors. So it's going to help improve mood and enhance mental focus. And just backing up a second, we've got a 1-2 punch when it comes to muscle power. We've got a 1-2 punch when it comes to nitric oxide. We now have a 1-2 punch when it comes to mental focus because we've got N-acetyl-L-tyrosine, tyrosine precursor to L-dopa, precursor to dopamine, and we then have theacrine, which is allowing our dopamine receptors to get upregulated to receive more of that dopamine that's being created. So we have a 1-2 punch when it comes to mental focus. Another cool thing that teacrine does is reduces inflammation caused by strenuous exercise. The clinical dose for all of these amazing effects is 25 to 50 milligrams. I mentioned we have a whopping dose of teacrine. We have 100 milligrams of teacrine in each and every scoop of this MTS Clash fully loaded. It is the most amount of teacrine I've ever seen used in any supplement, ever. It's a stupid amount of teacrine. Moving right along, we then get into theobromine in a 100 milligram dose, which is the bitter alkaloid of the cacao plant, also a central nervous system stimulant, approximately 10 times weaker than caffeine. In addition to the effects you get from caffeine, it works as a heart stimulant, dilates blood vessels, and has a slight diuretic effect. The efficacious dose of theobromine is 500 milligrams by itself. You've got 100 milligrams in this Clash fully loaded, so based on your efficacious dosing, it is very low, but theobromine is very rarely used by itself. It's usually combined with other stimulants, and here already we know we've got caffeine and also teacrine as stimulants in addition to the theobromine. Moving right along, we then get into Infinergy, the trademarked patented version of dicaffeine malate. This is of course caffeine ionically bonded to malic acid, which yields about 75% caffeine, 25% malic acid, which means we've got 68 milligrams of Infinergy yielding 51 milligrams of caffeine. Add that to the 250 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous, and we are right in the sweet spot, viewers at home, 301 milligrams of total caffeine per serve in this Clash fully loaded. The benefits of Infinergy, so having dicaffeine malate as opposed to caffeine, is it's a longer lasting stimulatory effect than caffeine anhydrous. So you kind of have caffeine anhydrous that hits you straight away, and then you have Infinergy that's kind of almost like a buffered caffeine. So it kind of hits you a little bit later and then lasts a little bit longer as well. Also helps prevent the post-workout crash that a lot of people experience with caffeine anhydrous, and the malic acid has the side effect of improving digestion. The clinical dose of Infinergy, if it's used by itself, is 300 to 400 milligrams. We have 68 milligrams, but once again, you have to consider that it is in combination with the other stimulants, caffeine, teacrine, and theobromine. Moving right along, we then move into N-methyl-L-tyramine hydrochloride, as opposed to tyrosine. We're dealing with tyramine here, viewers at home. This is L-tyramine with a methyl group attached. It too acts as a central nervous system stimulant and does a couple of really cool things with different receptors. Get your pens and pencils out, viewers at home, write this shit down. The first thing it does is it's a very strong beta-2 adrenergic receptor agonist, which means it upregulates beta-2 adrenergic receptors. And what that's going to help do is increase cAMP levels, which is going to boost your base metabolic rate and increase oxidation of fatty acids. On the other hand, it acts as a mild alpha-2 adrenoreceptor antagonist, so downregulates alpha-2 adrenoreceptors, which is going to increase insulin secretion and decrease blood sugar level. In addition, it also stimulates the release of norepinephrine, which is going to increase concentration, increase your heart rate, and now acts as a third punch in terms of the mental focus side of things with N-acetyl-L-tyrosine and teacrine. So we've got a three-way punch when it comes to mental focus and cognition. The clinical dose for N-methyltyramine in its own right is 200 milligrams. We only have 20 milligrams. Once again, you've got to consider that we're dealing with something that's used in combination with a bunch of other stimulants. And then finally, we have hordenine hydrochloride in a 20 milligram dose. Hordenine, aka N-dimethyltyramine, very closely associated to N-methyltyramine that we just went through, and has very similar effects. Perhaps the two effects that it has in addition to L-tyramine is that it's going to boost your metabolic rate and then also reduce your appetite, which is particularly important for fat loss supplements. Not that important for pre-workout supplements, but we got to mention it anyway. The clinical dose for hordenine when used by itself is 25 to 50 milligrams. We only have 20 milligrams. And once again, you have to consider that that's being used with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other stimulants. We're talking about a 6-stimulant blend here, viewers at home. Got yourself some artificial flavors, artificial sweeteners, natural colors, and that's what's in it. So on paper, very complete pre-workout supplement. If you were to list the sorts of effects that you want to get from your pre-workout supplement, most people's list would go something like this: increased muscle power, increased muscle pumps and nutrient delivery, decreased muscle fatigue, increased energy, increased mental focus. And Clash puts a very solid tick next to every single one of those boxes. It is on paper, if not the most complete pre-workout supplement formula we've seen thus far. It would have to get pretty damn close to it in terms of ticking the boxes of the effects that you really are looking for in your pre-workout supplement. From a performance base, of course. Not really interested in transient effect, I'm interested in making long-term gains. If we are to be a little critical and say, what is it missing? Is it missing anything? And we kind of look at, okay, wish list once again, what other things would we like as in a pre-workout supplement? We'd have to say that it really, the only thing that it's missing is something for muscle volume or hyperhydration of muscles. Something like a glycerol monostearate, or even better, a Hydromax glycerol, is pretty much the only type of ingredient that Clash is really missing when you kind of put it down on paper and you look at this formula. It's really, and you're getting really critical, it's really the only thing that you can kind of pick out of it. In terms of how it tastes, how it mixes, it comes in one flavor. Comes in fruit punch. Now keep in mind, viewers at home, this is a brand spanking new pre-workout supplement, the first of what I'm sure will be many flavors of MTS Nutrition Clash Fully Loaded, but we've got the one flavor, which is the fruit punch at the moment. Infamous MassiveJoes taste and mixability test about to go down. I've got my dog war glass ready to go, got my spoon ready to go, and a brand spanking new tub of MTS Nutrition Clash Fully Loaded that I'm about to open for you guys. Bro, punch this bitch in. I mentioned at the start of this raw review where we're dealing with a 22 gram scoop. We're dealing with a protein or a pre-workout. You guys are about to see what I mean. The scoop is actually so big that in a full tub, it even sticks out. Can you see that? It sticks out the top of the powder. Like it's sticking, they can't even fit the damn scoop in the tub. That's how big this shit is. But check this out, viewers at home. Look at the size of this damn scoop, man. 22 grams. That is if you got a whey protein isolate at home, that's the size of a whey protein isolate scoop. That is not a pre-workout scoop at all. 22 grams, god damn. All right, infamous MassiveJoes taste and mixability test about to go down. I'm gonna put this Clash to the test because really 22 gram scoop. In fact, what does it say? Let me check the, here we go. And directions, one scoop with 8 to 16 ounces of water. I've got in here about 4 ounces of water. So we're gonna put it to the ultimate test. Nevertheless, throw this bitch in this bitch and let it rain, let it rain. A few flicks of the wrist. I'm gonna show you guys how this MTS Clash Fully Loaded mixes, and then refresh my memory on how this MTS Clash Fully Loaded tastes, man. All right, I think that's enough. As you guys can see, pretty well mixed through the middle there. There's no kind of like floaters. You can see there's some floaters on the top. If I do let it settle, you can probably see this already. It is going to settle. I mean, man, what was it? Almost 19 grams of active ingredients. You are going to get some settling, especially when you try and mix it in 4 ounces of water. Nevertheless, it is a massive serving size, and you are going to need a lot of water to get it to completely mix. So I would go so far as to say blender ball is required. For this here MTS Nutrition Clash Fully Loaded, let me refresh my memory on how this fruit punch tastes, man. I mentioned to you guys I'd never seen a supplement use that much tea cream, 100 milligrams in their formula. Oh, my eyes are watering. And there's a very good reason for that. For those of you that have tried tea cream in powdered form, it is an incredibly potent ingredient. And not potent in a good way. Potent in a so bitter it will make your eyes water away. And that's why my eyes are watering sipping on this MTS Clash Fully Loaded. Oh, goddamn. And it's a bit of a shame, to be honest, because the fruit punch flavor coming through there is actually one of the better fruit punches that I've tried. It's a good kind of middle of the range fruit punch. It's not like too fruity, it's not like too cherry. It's a good fruit punch, but that tea cream flavor, man, just dominates the shit out of every sip you take of the Clash Fully Loaded, and it is really an unpleasant flavor. That being said, the good news is the company that makes tea cream has apparently just recently, like in the last couple of weeks, developed a tasteless version of tea cream, which would be spectacular. And I'm sure that that MTS will be straight onto that with their next run of MTS Clash Fully Loaded when the tasteless tea cream does become available. Because I think if they can get rid of that tea cream taste, the flavor is just going to be really, really good. But for the meantime, prepare yourselves with MTS Clash Fully Loaded when you take your first sip, because it is definitely something I've never tasted before. Not many supplements make my eyes water. This shit right here, at the moment, makes my eyes water. In terms of the effects, because that's what you're taking the shit for. You put up with a little bit of bitter eye-wateringness if the supplement's gonna deliver better workouts and ultimately give you better gains. Well, I know I would. The effects of MTS Clash Fully Loaded. First thing you're going to notice after the taste hits you, the beta-alanine, hits you hard. 3.2 grams of carnosine beta-alanine. It's like, I mean, even if you have, I've got a pretty good tolerance to beta-alanine. I drink a supplement with carnosine beta-alanine in it during the day, almost every day. And whoa, I haven't had beta-alanine tingles like that for a long, long time. So the first thing that's going to hit you is the beta-alanine tingles, which some people like, some people don't like, but you do just need to be aware that it is coming. The biggest thing with Clash that I've noticed, and is feedback that has been shared across the whole company at MassiveJoes, is from a performance standpoint. Like if you're going to the gym and you're actually trying to lift that lightweight like bags of feathers, baby. You're trying to, set PBs. You're trying to perform. You're trying to progress. Clash is just in a league of its own, man. It really is. It is the muscle power and the feeling of strength is like nothing I've ever experienced in a pre-workout before. It is, you feel strong. You feel powerful. You just feel like you can perform at a higher level. which for me is what I really ultimately want from my pre-workout. I'm not a big stimulant junkie. I like muscle pump, but I'm not all about the pumps. I'm about performance. I'm going to the gym. I want to perform. I want to progress. I want to progressively overload my muscles and therefore make gains. That's what I'm about. And I've never had a supplement that delivers that sort of consistent performance like Clash Fully Loaded does. The original Clash was probably the closest to it, but this has just taken the original Clash and shat all over it, really. It's taken it to the next level, and that feeling of performance is really just phenomenal. The energy you're going to experience of the Clash Fully Loaded is very level, very smooth. It's definitely not a strong, high stimulant pre-workout. It's just it's like an elevated state. Very smooth, long-lasting energy. You don't crash off it at all. You don't even get like a post-workout slump in energy, nothing at all. So the energy is really nice. Vascularity is amazing. If you're lean enough to get vascular, of course. That 1-2 combination of the massive dose of L-citrulline and the massive dose of agmatine is fantastic for vascularity and muscle pump as well. So the pumps, the vascularity is absolutely amazing. Muscular endurance is very, very good. Obviously, 3.2 grams of carnosine beta-alanine. Along with the performance, you just feel like you can get more reps, more sets, keep training. You definitely feel like you can push past what you can normally push past with that massive dose of beta-alanine in there. Mental focus is quite good. It's definitely not tunnel vision mental focus, but it is definitely a noticeable mental focus, and really kind of more ties into the performance side of things. You're lifting heavy, you feel strong, you're therefore dialed into what you're doing, and you're just in a good state of mental focus. Not over the top, not tunnel vision, just really a nice clean energy, clean mental focus type feeling. Feeling of well-being is something else that we've all noticed. You just feel good training on Clash Fully Loaded, which is nice. It's once again ties into the performance thing. You're in the gym, you're lifting heavy, you're smashing PBs, and you've also got this nice dopamine type feeling from a few of the ingredients in there that just gives you a really good feeling of well-being in there as well. On a negative side, I guess the one thing that it is missing, and no surprises here because there's no ingredient for it, is the muscle volume side of things. There's no glycerol or Hydromax glycerol or anything like that. So there is definitely, you don't really notice any increase in muscle volume. Muscle pump, yes. Muscle volume, not so much. But I think all in all, from an effects standpoint, viewers at home, it's got, like, it really has to be, in fact, I can't think of another supplement from a performance, but like if you're trying to perform in the gym, I really cannot think of another supplement that delivers a better overall performance effect than this Clash Fully Loaded. So I'm gonna say it. I wasn't planning on dropping this, viewers at home, but I'm gonna drop it in this raw review. I'm gonna say, from a performance pre-workout basis, this MTS Clash Fully Loaded is the best performance pre-workout supplement we have seen thus far. It is. I can't take the Pepsi challenge with any other pre-workout that I've tried, and Clash isn't gonna win. It's Pepsi in the out of every other performance pre-workout supplement that we've seen thus far. Next level in terms of performance, just next level. In terms of the side effects, there is definitely one big side effect that you are going to notice that you're probably not expecting from a pre-workout, and that is the sweat. That 100 milligrams of teocrine, it's got some really good effects. The energy, all of those fantastic effects. It's got some bad effects, the taste. And a side effect is the amount you sweat on it. It definitely increases your core temperature and makes you sweat a lot. So just be prepared. You might need to bring a change of clothes to the gym post-workout. You know what I'm saying. In terms of stackability, Obviously, no surprises here. It's going to stack well with a non-stimulant muscle volume supplement. MTS Nutrition obviously make the non-stimulant muscle volume supplement, MTS Vasky. It's been specifically designed to stack with Vasky, which is why the ingredients in Vasky aren't in Clash Fully Loaded, such as taurine, such as Hydromax glycerol, such as nitrosogene. They're not present in Clash Fully Loaded at all. So those two are going to stack together perfectly. That's really the only thing that you would want to stack it with. There's no reason to stack it with a non-stimulant pump supplement. I guess if you had a non-stimulant mental focus supplement, if you wanted to up the ante on the mental focus and really dial you in that tunnel vision style, you could do that, but make sure it's non-stimulant once again. Or if you had some base ingredients, something with a choline, acetylcholine, CDP choline, choline bitartrate, anything like that that's just going to boost up that mental focus. Maybe even some huperzine A, tooth club moss, something like that might work well. Non-stimulant, that's going to stack well with it as well. The final thing I'm going to say, viewers at home, is in terms of price and value for money, you're talking about 20 serves in the Australian market retailing for the same price as the original Clash, $69.95. So you are talking about $3.50 per serve, which does make it one of the most expensive pre-workouts on the market, serve for serve. But that you do have to consider that you're getting massive doses of everything, as we went through, and it is exactly the same price as the original Clash, but you're getting an updated, much better in terms of performance version. And it really, the only thing really that you would stack it with would be Vasky, but by itself, it doesn't need to be stacked with anything. So that $3.50 per serve is an all-inclusive price for your pre-workout supplement. I really think there's nothing else I can say, viewers at home. I called it the best performance pre-workout we've seen thus far, and it honestly is. It is now. You would know that I jump around pre-workouts a lot because I'm shooting raw reviews and mostly on pre-workouts for you guys. So I try a lot of different pre-workouts. Clash really has become my go-to pre-workout supplement. I'm really enjoying training on it. I have really good effects. I don't crash on it. I would say it's probably my favorite pre-workout supplement to train on at the moment. And that's besides that horrible tea cream taste. I can kind of get past that every night while I'm driving to the gym because I know that the effects are coming. But guys, if you're in the market for an absolute top-notch performance-based pre-workout supplement that has everything you could possibly want in it, in proper clinical doses, you have to give yourself some of this MTS Nutrition Clash Fully Loaded a shot, guys. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, man. Stay up to date with all the latest editions of MassiveJoes RAW review and everything else in our YouTube channel. If you're watching this on the mobile or the PC, turn the post notifications on so you don't miss a beat when it comes to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel. If you like this video, throw down a comment. We get back to each and every one of them, and spread the love. Share this video around. Spread the love on the MassiveJoes YouTube channel. And guys, that is MassiveJoes RAW review on the all-new MTS Clash Fully Loaded in the house. And I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Stay massive.